We live. Gotta tweet this shit out. Before you do anything in your life, be sure to tweet about it. Can't let the world forget about you. What is existence if not shared with others over Twitter? It's a old quote from Confucius. What be up, my dude, bro? Not much. I am up. I'm awake. I'm ready to quake. Quake 4. Quake 1, 2, 3, and 4. Aaron's here. Ready for Big Daddy J to take on the world. College is stressing you out. I'm sorry to hear that. College be some bullshit from time to time. I sound energetic. I'm just like ready to wrestle, I guess. Just got my wrestling headphones on. They protect against broccoli ear. So in case anybody shoves my face into the mat, which they won't be able to do, as you know. Obviously. But if they were to attempt it, my ears will stay intact and non-broccoliified. Hannah wants to wrestle. Do not tempt me. Abby B with the 10. Thank you, Abby. First donor of the night. Showing some love. Thank you, thank you. It's good to see ya. Oh shit, you all want to wrestle? Everybody wants to wrestle. I'll take you all on. Come on, come at me. Come at me. Is this legal? Is it legal to wrestle in chat? Brittany, no worries. Whatever happens, you're gonna be A-okay. We're here for you. Fear not. I've had many friends that have gone through it. Hannah's in chat, she's gone through it. You'll be good to go. And Archon 1010 with the 10 says, I woke myself up from a nightmare for this. Perfect. Well, welcome to the real nightmare. Boogie, 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 boogie. Boogie, 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 boogie.
Hey, listen.
Aaron, welcome. First live stream, that's what I like to hear. We need more newbies in the chat. Let all your newbie friends know about this sick-ass live stream going on. At the moment, it's not legal. Oh, is it legal to wrestle? You know what? We just won't tell anybody. The biggest wrestling match of the decade is going on, and the WWE is not involved. The world... What was the WWF? Remember how like it used to be about wrestling and then all of a sudden it became about pandas or some shit? Well, I say fuck that. I say we merge the two. We get panda on panda action. Pandas wearing luchador masks going fucking ham on each other, doing suplexes off the high bar. That's what I'm looking for. The Let's Read revolution started with a wrestling match. Can you get serenaded again? I was honestly very not nervous to put that that singing out onto the video, but when I listened back to it, it was just like so cringy because I just feel like I'm like tone deaf, or I don't know. Long story short, I have no training in singing, so like trying to hit like flowing notes that aren't just like one low bassy note from like a 80s synth band song, or like something that sounds like Drab Majesty, like I'm just not your guy. What country am I from? I can't tell if you're British, American, or something else. Well, some sort of mix between the two, I suppose. Otherwise known as Americanish. release the pandas. I'm from Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Are they gonna make a Wakanda 2? Or I guess not. I guess he died, didn't he? Shit. Rest in peace. I forget his name, but that was a crazy story. Like, he had cancer and was like acting and producing content. Not producing content. Sorry, my mind is somewhere else. He was running a meme page. No, but like, he was fucking working his ass off while like stage 4 cancer. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. It's like wildly impressive, but it just sucks. I don't know. I've been hearing, like, even Screech. Remember Screech from Chadwick Boseman. Remember Screech from Saved by the Bell? He just died of like some random like butt cancer or some shit. No, lung cancer out of nowhere. Fucking sucks. They're gonna make Black Panther 2. He just won't be in it. That stinks, you know. You heard me singing in that V-Day video and you came a running. Final. Yeah, 44 years old. It just goes to show you, it's just like, presumably he was probably a healthy guy, you know, just kicking ass. And then just out of nowhere, fucking, oh hey there, what's up, my name's Cancer. I'm in your stomach somewhere, hiding, growing, getting bigger. And now you're dead. Yeah, the thing about Screech, I mean, Screech, I feel like isn't gonna make as many waves, I guess, as the Black Panther Patrick, but I don't know. It's all just sad, you know what I mean? I presume with Screech, he probably was a smoker. And I don't know, that's the sad thing, is like a lot of people say, like, I'm just gonna go hard. I'm gonna go hard in my youth, and I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna smoke. And it's like, as soon as, like, I feel like at 40, I know that sounds kind of like, you know, old to some people, but like 40, I feel like it's like where you find your stride, you know what I mean? Where you really start to like get shit figured out. 30, 40 to a degree, you know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, those little decisions you made every day. Who's Screech? Screech was he was a character from a show called Saved by the Bell back in the 80s. And there was a lot of like reruns and shit throughout the 90s and stuff. It was a good show, I guess, you know. It had Mario Lopez in it, who was recently in a KFC commercial, aka it was like a KFC melodrama, which is pretty entertaining. You should check that out. But it's like Mario's doing great and Screech is, you know, doing dead. It just sucks. Yeah, cancer is sad as fuck. Oh, Screech did porn for a bit? Nice. I wonder if we can find... I'm going to bring that up on stream real quick, just as a commemoration to him. So you guys stick around. Let me get that up here. You're 30, you have no idea what you're doing with life. I don't really know any of us do, to be honest with you. I was driving past this one car that was kind of going over a speed bump around the same time I was, but the opposite direction. I was thinking about slowing down and just opening my window and like them opening it thinking like, oh, he needs help, and just being like, hey, what's up? Like, what? Nothing, I just have no idea what the fuck's going on, and I just figured I'd say hi. Oh, okay. Are you going to kill me? No, I don't think so. Hopefully not. But, you know, just maybe we can be friends forever, and you can make me feel good. The reboot is pretty good. He was supposed to be in season 2. They did a reboot? How do I choose my intro song or theme? and your outro. Well, the outro comment is decided by you, Luigi. You get to decide. If you stick around till the end of the video, you get to tell me what to say, and I say it. Because I am just a monkey here to dance. I'm the dancing monkey. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ee. Sound like I need a hug? I think we all need a hug, to be honest. Do I smoke weed? Not really. I'll do it from time to time if my friends want me, want to smoke, but usually I say no, because I don't really like being high. Because my mind is already going in various directions at baseline. Any advice for weight loss? At the end of the day, it's just calories in, calories out, as I'm sure a lot of people will tell you. One thing that I think a lot of people are doing now that is actually very good for you, very good for your body's recovery, is intermittent fasting. So like only eating like in a 4 to 8 hour window during the day, while the other hours are just water, just water or like coffee or tea or some shit like that, where it's like no calories. Because there's a lot of other things that go into your digestive process other than just like the calories, like your hormones and your things like insulin and that kind of thing. So yeah, intermittent death. If you just die for a little bit every day, you should be good. Will I be your Valentine? Damn right. Dude. How good is this music? Makes me want to fucking cream. Joel is 15. Yeah, I'm 15. I'm getting my driver's permit here soon. I'm gonna be drifting. I'm gonna be Tokyo drifting down a fucking mountain like Initial D. I sound much younger than 30. Yeah, I don't really know. A lot of people say that. They're like, oh, you sound like you're 24. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Maybe it's because I don't have kids or something like that. Like, I think sometimes when people have kids, you just... Oh, wait, I missed a dono. Zane. Zanti Esteban with a 3 says, take my 3. It's all I have. Oh, thank you, Zane. Thank you for your sacrifice, my friend. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I missed you there initially. You were watching P-Hub and you got the notification. Stop everything. You better stop everything. Don't even think about doing what you were doing. That is a sin in this chat if it doesn't involve everybody else. Warren with the 5. Oh, the great Warren, I see. I couldn't read that at first. With the 5 said, had plenty of time to listen to the old live streams recovering from COVID. Nice. Hope you're doing well. Hope things didn't get too bad for you. It seems like a lot of people are doing pretty well when they get it, for the most part, especially if they're younger. No pre-existing conditions. I know quite a few people have gotten it and seem to have recovered and back to popping off. Joel is live on P-Hub too. I am, yeah. If you guys want to tune in over there, that's Let's Breed. His beat slaps. Thanks, yeah. I really do got to get this up on the old... I think what I'll do is... This Monday is a podcast, right? So that's the... Well, actually, it's officially Tuesday, but released on YouTube, I think, on the 8th. And then... Yeah, then the following week, on the 15th, I think I'll release the... one of... Which one do you think? Should I do the chill hop beats or should I do the synthwave stuff to release on Spotify and that kind of thing? Do I drink alcohol a lot? No, I don't. I really don't like alcohol. I've said before, like, if I had to choose between alcohol and marijuana, as far as like the conventional things that people use to kind of get socially lubed up or whatever you want to say, I always think marijuana is much better for you because it's I mean, it can be habit forming, but it's not physically addicting like alcohol or as destructive on your system. And, you know, a lot of people sober up within like 2 hours of using it anyways, whereas alcohol is like your night is essentially fucked. But yeah, just overall, I tend to stay pretty sober, even though I know sometimes on these streams you probably think I'm on fucking LSD from the shit that I say, but nah, I ain't about that life, I'm sorry. But I'm not gonna stop you guys from doing it. Joannie, Marianne has become a full-grown pizza and a member of the Buttersock cult. Everybody welcome Joannie. I hope I'm saying that right. Soon to 1 million. We will get there. Let's queef. I mean, I can agree. Yeah, weed is definitely better than alcohol. It's just anybody who's experienced it, you know. But I think it just differs. Everybody has different, like, genetics, you know, as far as their experiences with alcohol. For me, my body just, it gets very, very violently sick. You know, it rejects it. And just doesn't operate very well, you know. Not that I wouldn't mind a drink here and there, you know. Do I have a beard? I do. It's very big and burly right now. I need to go get it. Actually, Thursday I'm going to the barber getting fixed up. Oh, yeah, sorry. How do you say it, Joannie? Or is it Joannie? I don't know. I'm sorry. Your drug of choice is death. Death. My old mistress. These are subscriber stories tonight, by the way, guys. We got 10 of them. Wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So call out your story if you hear it. I mean, call out your story if you hear it on any stream, but especially these ones, since these are pulled straight from the subreddit themselves. And yeah, if you want to submit your story, go to reddit.com/r/let's-read-official, and you shall hear potentially your story read on a video. Can't guarantee it, but you can also email me at letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com, which is what a lot of people do, and then I will bring those stories over into the subreddit just for easier to read. But yeah, making a Reddit account's pretty easy. Super simple. It's a super simple. And what is it? Anti-Tartar with the 5 says, I'm the guy who keeps asking about when you release stuff on Spotify, and for good reason. You were my #1 podcast on Spotify in 2020. Oh, nice. Thank you. Yeah, I remember when they did a lot of recaps, a lot of people were sending me there, or at least I was getting notified of people putting quite a bit of hours into the podcast. Probably one of the best decisions I've made for this channel is to get on podcasts. So thank you for giving me a good reason to continue doing it. But yeah, I switched my days on podcasting to Tuesdays because it was just easier that way. And it was like kind of spreading out content as far as like new videos on Monday, but then podcast Tuesday. So it's like, just keeps me constantly present in your eyeballs, swimming around your retinas and your brain. Alexandra, I can't read that, with a 5 says, hi, I would like to know when me and my kids are going to meet. Wait, what? Hi, I would like to know when me and my kids are going to meet each other, please. I don't know, I suppose that's something maybe you could text them? Say, hey, son and or daughter or multiple of both. Where the hell are you? I'd like to give you hugs and take you out to McDonald's. Unless maybe that was like you're asking for me to see the future, which I'm not great at, but sometimes I'm pretty good at it. Can anybody here see the future? Does anybody here have like psychic powers or anything? And Archon 1010 with a 5 says, y'all wish my mom a good night. She was watching but going to bed soon. Aw, sleep tight, mommy. We love you. You are the backbone of this great place we call Earth. Man, music is fucking sweet. Anybody else here like music? This part's just fucking cool. Listen to this. You ready for it? It's gonna be cool. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, damn. Oh. You have psychic dreams? What specifically happens in them there, psychic dreams of yours? Eleanor with the 10 says, listening while I'm working late. Yay. Nice. I hope the shift's going well. Look at that. Look at that swimming orca. You predict tomorrow will be Wednesday, February 3rd. Who knows? Maybe we won't even make it out of today since it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. Does anyone know if Joe Biden saw his shadow or not? Alright guys, let me ease us out of this hot happening synthwave mix. That was actually kind of a sweet timing with that sound effect. Alright. How's my day? My day was good. My day was cool. I pretty much just some basic stuff, you know, the norm. Went to the gymmy, did some deadlift. I used straps for deadlift this time, which really helps your grip if your grip's not great. And sometimes that's like half the battle. But I did like 365 deadlift for 10. Felt pretty good. And then we did squat, which was like back and forth, like stamina squat, where it was like I did 260 front squat and then for 3, and then that same weight for back squat for 6. But as I was going, I think it was the deadlift that kind of threw me off, and like poor management of my like stretching. You really got to stretch before you jump into something, and I was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like went into it a little bit fast, and I felt as if though like my left hip kind of going into my back was giving me a bit of a twinge, so I just kind of cut the reps on the back squat to like 3s, and just generally felt like shit. But afterwards I stretched, and you kind of feel good, and I'm like, shit, I should have did this beforehand. And really stretching makes you feel like pretty bonerific, actually. Everyone should do it. Molly with the 5 says, Joel, my love, how are you tonight? I did my first Marvel fan video edit last night, 6 hours, but worth it. I hope you're having a good... Whoa, you were putting in the midnight oil there with the edit. I want to see it. You should post it to the Discord, or where can we peek that at? Thank you for the dono. Anti-tatter. Anti-tatter. Oh, like antimatter, I see. I did not read that right. With the 5 says, couldn't get everything out in the last donut. Thank you so much for helping me through 2020. I was in a bad place and you helped. Oh, thank you. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you can be here, be part of the community. Guys, there's a lot of good people on the Discord. I'm taking off this jacket. It's fucking hot. There's a lot of good people in the Discord. And, you know, right now is a tough time because everyone's pretty much isolated in their homes. You know, fucking typing crazy shit on a keyboard, saying no games, all work and no fun makes Joel a dull boy. So, join the Discord, get some socializing in, get some chit-chatting, make some friends, somebody you can confide in, tell them how you're feeling, because when you're down, it's tough sometimes. But yeah, if you're too shy to join Discord, you know what you could do? You could just lurk. A lot of people like to lurk for a while. They like to kind of just join the Discord, observe the culture for a little bit, get a picture of the different characters in play. You know what I mean? Just ease yourself into it. Everyone there is not judgmental, and if you are judgmental, please take it easy on the new people. It would be lovely to be welcoming. Is this live? Cypher, this is live, baby. Here we go again with the magic mic. It's true. The rant tab. I don't know. What happened to the rants? I got rid of a bunch of stuff that I just felt was like not conducive to a scary story streamers, like, you know, Discord thing. Got rid of politics, got rid of all that kind of stuff. I just feel like a lot of that stuff in there was just kind of like erroneous, you know. I like memes, I like art, I like chatting with people, general chat, all that kind of stuff. Story ideas. Sean Hammond, thank you for the 5, my friend. Probably, most likely. Hey, Joel, do you have a mustache like Dr. Disrespect? I do, but I got the full combo. Whereas he keeps his shit nice and tight. I'm full on Navy SEAL mode right now with just, I'm trying to blend in with my environment. Full ass beard. How do I upgrade on your channel? What do you mean upgrade? Cassie, thank you. Well, guys, we're going to kick these stories off. I thank you again for being here. Click that like button if you haven't already. I have no idea what it does, but it feels good to press it. And, do I have ass hair? No, I don't. I wish, man, I wish. Get some ass hair implants. But, yeah, click the like button, share this out. Whoever's the first to share it on Instagram, I might even, you know, share that on my story share, and you'll get to experience that beautiful honor. Did a winter storm hit your way? It did, yeah. We got shit on with snow. It wasn't too terrible though. There was a little bit of ice for the most part, but aside from Dunkin' Donuts and one of the grocery stores shutting down relatively early, things were pretty much business as usual. Joel definitely has ass hair. No, I am a freshly shorn, well, not shorn because that would imply shaving, but the Lord cut the hair off at the tail, so to speak. What would be my perfect Valentine's date? Somebody once told, if we just sang that for like 3 hours back and forth, that would be great. And just, but like screamed it at each other, like, somebody once told me. And like, we run out of breath as we do it, while making sweet, sweet glove. Brazilian waxed, yes. Pennsylvanian wax. Completely bald except for the ass hair, yeah. Or just like, imagine if like one cheek had hair, that'd be funny. Alright guys, this story's about Texas. Any Texonians in this bitch? Around every start of the summer, me and my family go on a 3-week vacation around the U.S. It's always a blast, and I have a very fond memory of the trips. Very fond memories. Mistake. Number one. Number one. His pubes stop in the back. Where's the 80s porn music? I think we forgot to cue that up and ended up playing some dark ambient. Texas forever. I am jealous of your no state tax. That shit's pretty dope. Honestly, probably one of the bigger motivators to get down to Texas, aside from maybe one day working for Funimation or some shit. I don't fucking know. It would be cool to do voice work really anywhere. I have no idea how you do that. I'm not making active strides. Give your mom a shout out, Miss Raina. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Miss Raina. Auntie Tatter with the 2 says, I was running how I become a moderator. Oh, well, we're pretty booked up on moderators right now. And I have a very stringent rule from now on that anybody who asks for power shan't not be given power. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. Send nudes. No, don't do that. It's always a blast, and I have very fond memories of the trips. But I Bleh. But I will always be more alert on the next time. But I will always be more alert on them next. We're off to a really good start. It's always a blast, and I have very fond memories of the trips, but I will always be more alert on them next time. We were more than halfway done with our vacation, so we had to head home. That meant that we had to go through the whole state of Texas. My dad wanted to drive through the night instead of stopping, so I got some rest. I woke up at around the middle of the night and noticed the car had stopped moving. I sleepily rose from where I was sitting and looked out of the dash window. I saw my dad with a random dude under the hood of the dude's hood. Under the hood of the dude's hood. I saw my dad... What the fuck? I saw my dad with a random dude under the hood of the dude's hood. Now I thought, no big deal, maybe... Okay. I saw my dad with a random dude under the hood. Now I thought, no big deal, until something caught my eye. There was a ditch beside the road, and in that ditch, barely, just barely, I could see the top of a couple of dudes holding weapons of various types. My blood ran cold, but I had to warn my father because he hadn't seen them yet, and he had his back turned to them. I thought as quickly as I could and kicked my door open and yelled, "Hey, Dad! The gun fell out of the holder and I don't want to touch it." This is a lie, of course, as we don't own a fuck. Hood under the hood. Tales from the hood. This is a lie, of course, as we don't own a gun. And both the man and my dad looked confused. I waved for my dad to come to where I was. I then explained the situation, and for the first time in my life, he actually looked terrified. He said to the man that I'm going to move the car closer. The man said that's fine, and we both jumped in. My dad floored it down the road, and that was not... What? My dad floored it down the road that was not blocked by the truck? I guess that's the guy's truck or something. Which story are we at? We're on story 1 of 10. So we're just kicking this off. Does anybody know what's going on with the live stream? Is it having issues? The Doodly Dude's hood. Hopefully no one's having issues. My dad immediately floored it down the road. We did notice a car's headlights in our back window, but after a while, it disappeared. We drove the rest of the way. I don't know. My brain is just not working tonight. Anti-Tatter with the 5 says, okay, last one, I swear. Could you consider offering bigger sizes for your merch? Because I'm kind of a chunky boy. Well, you know, it's all through, what's it called? Spreadshirt. And so, unfortunately, whatever sizes Spreadshirt has is the limitations on that. So I do apologize. I would definitely consider that if I had that power, but pretty much everything I do is kind of indirectly through another service. But I'll have to do a little research on the limitations on Spreadshirt there. Oh my God. Stephanie Patch with the $50 donation. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. No additional message to go with that. But yeah, Stephanie, just at me, or one of the mods can at me if you would like to add any message alongside that. You think you all got issues, or are we having issues? I just reset my router. I think we should be good. Don K with the 5 says, hashtag breast cancer money, you call me down. Breast cancer money? I'm unfamiliar with what you mean, but thank you, Don, for the 5. Joel and his sexy noises. Stop with those noises. What noises am I making? Oh, my... But you couldn't hear the twerk music when it went through? I was just literally like dancing to nothing? Dude, what's going on with the stream? Can you say Ethan Million, his brother's name, and scare him? Fix alert sounds or I'll fight you, you steal Pradeep. The alert sounds are having issues, huh? Here, I'm going to test one right now. We'll test a super chat. There, I just clicked it. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it said, hey, listen, and it's from myself. That's weird. I mean, it should be. I heard the sound come through. There's no noises, just me. Is there music at least? There's no notification noises. You haven't heard the torque notification for a few streams now. Okay. What? The sound of silence. Wait, yes, music. There is music. Nothing. Okay, you hear the ambient music, but not the noise. Oh, thank you, Don. Sorry, yeah, I didn't quite pick up on that. Thank you. Just the voiceover? Wait, there is music. Okay. What? That's so weird. Like, that must be an issue with Streamlabs or some shit. I don't even know. That's upsetting. Well, I guess I guess it just the worst part is I have no fucking clue how to fix any of this stuff because the here, wait, where's the could you hear the mischievous dog part? Cuz I just tested that and that the music went away? Talk to the manager. Yeah, I don't know. I'm the OBS and some static. Wait, so I'm confused as fuck. Like so you're telling me that there's some people who are hearing the music, but then other people who are not hearing any of the background dark ambient music? Like, you didn't hear what I just tested. Huh. You would think that there would be alerts. Let's see. Wait a second. What about as like the stream was starting? I wonder if you don't hear any music at all? Oh, you hear the background. It's just background music. It's literally just like a wah wah. I can't, like, it's so hard to communicate with everyone at once because it's like Venus Flatjob of the 5 says, I hear music and I don't hear notifications. I hope this helps. Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know. See, I just heard your, hey, listen for, here, wait a second. Oh, yeah. The alerts actually, that's quite strange. I can see the alerts thing, but it's set to properties. I have no fucking clue what the hell I'm looking at. Well, Ball sack, dude. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I mean, you have my voice at least, and the music, the actual music works or whatever. But the notification thing is really strange to me. Why? I'll have to look into it later. I don't know if anybody else is bored enough to go look what the hell's going on with that. Alright. Yeah, I get like OCD with like fucking technical issues, but honestly, I have to figure it out later. It's quite strange. We drove the rest of the night and into the morning. We weren't tired at all. My mom then woke up and we had fun, but kept a lookout. We made it home safe, and I did a little research in the area, and it turned out that a few months ago, before, what the fuck? It turned out that a few months before, a couple were actually kidnapped and are currently still missing in that area of Texas. I have no idea. Sorry, my cheese all sorts of thrown off now by this bullshit. I have no idea if that happened to those poor people. I have no idea if what happened to those poor people could have happened to my dad and our family if I didn't see those men. Did I do that Urkel noise? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Not a big deal. I have no idea if what happened to those poor people could have happened to my father and I have no idea if what happened to those poor people could have happened to my father and our family if I didn't see those men. Yeah, that's strange. It's kind of annoying, because those alerts are kind of sweet. Wait, what the hell? Let's see. No? Maybe if I re-add alerts in there or some shit. I don't fucking know. Jay and Silent Bob phrase. Must be West Texas. Yeah, I'm not sure. 10 stories, yes, you are correct. Nice, you joined the Discord? That's what I like to hear. Ooh. So I'm just making like the ooh ah sounds with no fucking dance music in the back, just like a fucking psychopath. This story happened when I was 6 or 7, so in about 1996 or 1997. My family lived out in rural Michigan, and every October they would throw a big party called the Hayride. Friends and family would all come over. There'd be a bonfire, hayride, food, music, basically a big country party with 100 people or so. The hayrides were one of the few times I could stay up super late. After one hayride, I was in the second story of the house getting ready for bed. I remember hearing a loud noise outside, so I went to the window. It was completely dark out, maybe 10:30 or 11 p.m. I heard my parents talking outside, so I wasn't too concerned. About a football field's length down the road, there was a sharp 90-degree turn. I started to see a glow coming from that area. My parents saw it too and were obviously alarmed. I heard my mom come inside and I went to find out what was going on, and she sent me back to bed. Years later, I found out what had really happened. My parents had been cleaning up from the hayride, going back and forth between the house and the barn. They heard a car crash at the sharp turn in the road, which happened maybe every once or 2 years. Sometimes I feel like my mind just like skips over fucking words. I don't know why. You hear my OCD through the mic. There it is. OCD. Yeah, like I always want to get shit perfect, you know what I mean? But thankfully I at least can give it up. Be like, alright, whatever, moving on. They hear a car crash at the sharp turn in the road, which happened maybe once every 2 years or so. They left the barn. My mom was going to the house to call 911, and my dad was going to check to make sure the people were okay. By the time they got to the house, they realized the car had flipped and caught fire. They heard people laughing and yelling, and then one of them said that there was a house up ahead and that they should go there. My mom said it was the creepiest thing that she had ever heard. The laughing and how the distance My mom said it was the creepiest thing that she had ever heard. The laughing and how the distance distorted their voices. My dad loudly yelled for my mom to get the rifle from the house and call 911. They had to have heard him, but they kept... They had to have heard him, but they kept walking. Shortly after my mom got my dad the gun, another car came screeching around the corner towards the people walking. They got in the car, which took off the way it had come, not passing by our house. The fire department eventually came and put the fire out, which thankfully hadn't spread. We live in a small rural community with not a lot of strangers. It should have been easy to learn who these people were, but we didn't. We never found out who crashed the car, or who picked them up. It's a weird thing. What number story? That was number 2. Kind of a quick one. This one's probably twice as long here. Not sure what to think of it. Can you make me a PB Nutella sandwich, please? I've had a PB and Nutella. I feel like Nutella is almost like... It's not that it doesn't complement peanut butter well. It just almost seems like it's like too sweet. Peanut butter and banana, though. Oops. Someone starts off. So I've been listening to your podcast lately. Enjoy hearing everyone's stories and experiences. When it all of a sudden brought back a memory of an experience I had a couple years ago, I apologize in advance, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I live in a smallish town in Arizona with very little violent crime. It's mainly drug busts, assaults, domestic abuse cases, very rarely extremely violent crimes like murders or something we're more known for our retirement and Wait, what? Very rarely extremely violent crimes like murders or something we're more we are more known for our retirement and rehab, honestly. Okay. It's mainly drug busts, assaults, domestic abuse cases, very rarely extremely violent crimes like murders or something. We're more known for our retirement and rehab communities. I know not the greatest thing for our town to be known for, but it's absolutely beautiful here and an amazing place to raise a family. But back to the story. Like I said, this story happened a couple of years ago. I'm 20 now, going on 21, and I think I was maybe 15, 16 during this. The neighborhood I lived in was pretty quiet for the most part, mostly retired old people and young families with little kids. I think we were the oldest kids in the neighborhood, me and my sister. So one peaceful summer evening, me and my mom are home alone just enjoying the day. My sister was away and my dad was at the store or something. I was in the living room on the couch messing around on my phone, messaging my girlfriend at the time or something like that, I don't quite remember. Just standard teenager things, trying not to die of boredom. And my mother is in her room catching up on bills or something when all of a sudden we get a sudden knock on the door. My mom peeks her head around the corner looking at me confused because we weren't expecting any company and my dad would have just opened the door. We dismissed the confusion because we thought maybe it was a student going door to door like the door in the evenings we lived. Some of these sentences, holy fuck. Discord invite? Sure, sure. Looking for good places to get boba tea. Am I thinking of boba tea right? Like, I always think of boba tea, you have those giant straws. I'm always, like, semi-afraid that I'm gonna, like, inhale the fucking bubble shit directly into my throat. Raven says, can't stay up so much longer. I'm heading out. Enjoy the story. See ya. See ya, Raven. Thanks for stopping by. We missed the confusion because we thought maybe it was a student going to door. God damn it. We dismissed the confusion because we thought maybe it was a student going door to door like they do in the evenings, and we lived extremely close to one of the local elementary schools and about a 15-minute walk from the high school, so we didn't put it past us. Now, brief description of my mother and I at the time. I was still coming into my height and body. I'm male and I was about 5'8", 5'9", dark hair and starting to get very broad in the shoulders. You know, typical puberty things it does to a guy. But my mother is 4'11", long blonde hair and very stout. Not very intimidating, but definitely knows how to handle herself. So my mother opens the door and, to our dismay, it was not a student or a possible neighbor. Instead, my mother is greeted by a scruffy-looking man with beady eyes and longish blonde hair about my height and nothing too alarming about him, almost pretty innocent looking. He was wearing, from what I can remember, a white button-up with a blue tie and jeans, you know, business casual. As soon as my mom opens the door, you can visually see his surprise turn soon pleasure to see my short mother answer the door. She asks him if she can help him, and he starts going on this random spiel about how my mom has a very large crack on her windshield of her Jeep that's parked very clearly and very obviously in our driveway in front of our front door with no crack, and that he can fix it for her, and keeps trying to coax my mother out of the house to show her the crack on her windshield. Now, my mother is a no-nonsense kind of woman, doesn't put up with anyone's bull, so she immediately knew the man was up to something and refused to follow him out, telling him that she doesn't need his services and that her insurance covers all glass and bodywork. The man, not seeming to listen, just keeps trying to convince my mother that she just needs to come out of the house to see, and he needs to show her what she can't see. Now, up until this point, he hadn't noticed me standing a few feet back to the side of the doorway. As soon as he noticed me, his entire attitude changed. He seemed to get intimidated by the fact that I was there and was trying a bit more aggressively to get my mother out of the house, and he also started asking questions like if we're home alone, where everyone was, why my dad wasn't home now. This is where even I was starting to get irritated with this man. What kind of mobile windshield repair service tries such an aggressive sales tactic, I thought. So, at this thought is... blech, sorry. Oh, shit. Plus, that's hubby's mom's birthday. We always release balloons for her for some awesome blood splatter ones. Oh, that's cool. Like you pop the balloons and it's got blood in them. Anyone watched Erased before? I've never seen it. Olive Garden is closing down? What? Jesus Christ, dude. That's actually really sad. Just in your area or like all over? Do the reading voice. I have been doing the reading voice, my dude. So, as this thought is running through my mind, I see some movement from behind the man, and all of a sudden another man pops out from behind my mom's car, as if he was crouching behind it, just out of sight to pounce the first opportunity given to him. As soon as he saw me, he started to pretend to be interested in my mom's crack, and bent down to inspect her tires or something. Now, at this point, me and my mom knew we were in more danger than originally thought, and needed to get him and his buddy to leave. During all this, the man is still trying to BS my mom outside, and his story is starting to slip and change. So me, being the protective and cautious person, I am goes to my... I am goes. Fuck. Olive Garden is still surviving in your area. Maybe, yeah, it's just certain areas. I mean, all of those big, like, food chains are franchises, which means, like... I mean, at least I think most of them are. Like, I don't... Krispy Kreme, I think, controls it from corporate, but most of the time you pay for the rights to, like, have a store, to run a store, you know what I mean? So they're all, like, technically locally owned, you know, or ran by, like, small business owners and that kind of thing. So when they go out of business, it is rather sad. I guess any business going out of business is sad, even though people get mad. Do I like pie? I love pie. I haven't had pie in a long time. Golsi Tito. During all of this, the man is still trying to BS my mom outside, and his story is starting to slip and change. So me, being the protective and cautious person I am, I go to my parents' room, grab my mom's .380 handgun. .380 handgun? The fuck is it? Like a 38? What the fuck? So me being... Sorry. The sentence structure is just so fucking confusing. Toys R Us went down, I cried. Yeah. When I was younger, I always, like, the Toys R Us was very far from our area. And, I always wanted to go there. I only went there a few times. And I think even as a kid, I was relatively underwhelmed. But I just always saw, like, a whole fucking giant-ass store devoted to toys. A 308. It's a 380? Let's see. I had not... Oh, okay. Yeah, 380. Brownell's official site. Best 380 pistols of 2020. Oh. Okay, like a 1911. Okay. Interesting. I always feel like I hear them called like 38s. But maybe I'm not the most educated on them, to be honest. So me, being the protective and cautious person I am, go to my parents' room to grab my mom's .380 handgun and my dad's .45, and suddenly place her .380 on the small of her back, which she immediately gripped, ready to reveal the weapon at any sign of danger, and I stood behind her, staring daggers at the man. At this point, he starts getting the point and decided he wasn't getting anywhere with his potential victim and her son. Sorry. At this point, he started getting the point and decided he wasn't getting anywhere with his potential victim and her son, and he eventually gave up and made some remark about how it's our loss, and walks off, and my mom shuts the door and locks it. We both look at each other in total disbelief. This kind of thing has never happened before, and we weren't too sure how to process it. Like I said, most of the details are hazy, and I don't remember in full detail, but that's the majority of it. Thanks for reading. Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, thanks for reading. Take your time and look over. Also have some other strange stories. I can make another post. Thank you again. Blah, blah. Okay. We'll just end it with the last paragraph. At this point, he starts getting the point and decides he wasn't getting anywhere with his potential victim and her son, so he eventually just gives up and made some remark about how it's our loss and walks off, and my mom shuts the door. We both look at each other in total disbelief. This kind of thing has never happened before, and we weren't too sure how to process it. We both look at each other in total disbelief. This kind of thing has never happened before, and we weren't too sure how to process it. We're gonna start over. What are we starting over? You guys should write a story in the chat. Lady Heathers, you are one of my ladies over 40 fans. Hey, all fans are welcome. Pradeep is laying on the backpack, but is like, that's really funny. Like half of his body is like off of it. I wonder if there's a, you know what might have happened with the donation stuff. Maybe I can add desktop audio. Is that what I got rid of? Maybe that's what I got rid of. Like right now. Oh my god. Like I should be dancing, right? Ooh, but you guys can't hear anything, so you have no idea what the fuck I'm ranting about. Mediocre Bit with the $50 donation says a simple hi. Mediocre Bit, thank you so very much for that $50. I don't know if you were here earlier, but somebody else donated a twerking, a donation that warranted a nice twerk, and I was making all sorts of twerking noises, and apparently the notification sounds have not been working for a while, and I had no idea, so that's something I have to figure out. But thank you so much for that. Seriously, holy cow. In England, you call a sandwich a buddy. Is that true? Is this true? English-speaking folk? Love me some buddies. Easiest meal. Let me get a buddy. You think you heard it? You might have heard it through my earphones, because it's still playing for me, right? Through... But like it's so strange, because the alerts... What if I did this? No, that's so odd. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I removed the alert sound. Okay. And then... What about when the stream... Oops. Oh, fuck. Shit, whatever. I was going back and forth. I was gonna add... I don't even know how to... I can't do this shit on the fly, to be honest with you. It's not the best. Sorry, guys. Wait, donation counter, timer. I can't see shit from like a mile away. Timer, viewer, chat rules, Instagram, audio input capture, and then the mixer is all this shit. Wait. Oh, motherfucker. Dude, I don't even know how to bring it back, to be honest with you. What the hell? I'll have to figure this out later. I'm sorry, guys. Dude, it's so stupid. OBS is supposed to be, like, very simple, right? But, like, I can't, like, trying to, like, do shit on the fly is fucking hard. Like, it's, like... Stream shit is like doing technical stuff is annoying and hard as fuck. That's so sad and lame. Whatever. Anyways. Thanks for being here, guys. And thank you again, Mediocre Bit. Thank you. This happened only about 20 minutes ago at 11 p.m. at night, so a lot of this is still fresh in my mind. I'm driving home from my boyfriend's house. In this rare instance, I drive myself home. My drive home is a straight road for the most part, with only 2 intersections I need to cross to get to my house from my boyfriend's, and very little turns except maybe 2 to 3 right-hand turns. I drive a bright red Volkswagen Beetle, which makes it stick out like a sore thumb to many other cars, and I know a lot of people assume a female is driving it. I am at a red light at the one of 2 intersections waiting for the light to change when I notice this white Cherokee Jeep pull up on the right turn lane. He immediately stopped and parked right next to my car, and I know he's staring at me, but I ignore him. 30 seconds pass, and he's still sitting there staring at me, and I stare back at him awkwardly, now realizing he's staring at me still. This older man, probably in his late 40s, intensifies his stare at me as I try to process what's happening. He then waves at me, to then almost immediately gesture to give him my number. I blankly stare in shock before he again gestures for me to call him, and I try to figure out how he recognizes me, although I'd never seen this man before. I shook my head at him, and before he could react, the light was green and I sped off. The whole rest of the time I spent checking if he was behind me, and thankfully he never resurfaced. I know it might be. Alright, well. Shit. I don't know. Whatever. The whole rest of the time I spent checking if he was behind me. Thankfully, he never resurfaced. I don't mind, I don't know. I'm just surprised, like, the very anticlimactic. I kind of hope that my, like, subreddit gets bigger, you know what I mean? The creepy bird in the corner with the 2 says, do you need permission to read scary stories? You do, yeah. If you get them off of Let's Not Meet, this is my subreddit, so people are sending them directly to me, but if you get them off of Let's Not Meet or No Sleep, you have to ask the people's permission. Otherwise, you can get copyright strikes on your channel, which would be very bad. Come to Asgard, says Thor Odinson, son of Odin. When I was 15, I lived with my grandmother. She has a really big, nice house and always lived alone, so I volunteered to live with her. I enjoyed her company, so it wasn't a big deal. Around Christmas break, my grandma decided to let a friend of hers from work stay with us. My grandma was a psych nurse, by the way. When she told me a lady, her husband, and their son were moving in, I assumed that they were young and the son was young. Kind of stupid that I didn't ask, right? I know. Well, when they moved in, I was introduced to him. We'll call him B, and B was 36 years old. It struck me by surprise, but I was still polite to all of them. This is when it started to get weird. For the first week, I hardly ever saw them, which was fine by me. I would have my cousin, we'll call her Kay, over a lot around this time. So one night, my grandmother and the friends went out to the casino and B stayed home. Kay and I were in the kitchen making cupcakes when we heard heavy stomping going on upstairs for a while, and then I heard a door slam. I ran to the bottom of the steps and saw my door. Oh. Alright, this cat wants out. Let me let him out real quick. Oh no, he does. He just wants attention. Robin, my dude, what's up, big doggy? How art thou? What was the first story about? So yeah, the first story about Texas person was like they were driving in the night, and then she woke up and her dad stopped the car and he was looking under the hood, I think, of another car, But then the girls saw people on some like ditch crouched down with like weapons or something, so it seemed as if though they were going to be like ambushed in the middle of the night or something like that. I don't know if that gives you any ideas or not for a thumbnail or something like that. Oh, you've been here this whole time. He's lurking. Robin is a sneaky one. A sneaky beaky. Thor says no one is worthy for my hammer. My big pulsating hammer. What's it about to do with the hood? Yeah. These are tales from the hood, so. When I was 15, I lived with my grandma. This is when it starts to get weird. Okay. For the first week, I hardly... Okay, they went to the casino. Okay, now we're in the kitchen making cuppy cakes. Cuppy cakeys. Kay and I were in the kitchen making cupcakes when we heard heavy stomping going on upstairs for a while. Then I heard a door slam. I ran to the bottom of the steps and seen my room door had been slammed shut. I could have sworn I had closed it. I assumed the guy checked to see if we were home or something and closed it for me. I wasn't that mad about it, so I went back to cooking with Kay. As we were icing the cupcakes, someone ran downstairs and into the kitchen, and of course it was B. He leaned on the kitchen door frame and stared at us for a moment. We were getting uncomfortable, so I spoke. "Hi." He gave me a huge, creepy smile. "Hello, beautiful." His voice was so incredibly raspy, like he was in a serious need of water. I ignored what he said and continued to ice the cupcakes. He then started going on and on about how he had seen my pictures around the house and always thought that I was sexy. My heart jumped. Kay quickly snapped back to him before I could. She's 15? We thought that he would leave us alone after that, but no. He only smiled more. "Young girls are the best, to have my way with them." Then he just walked out. This shocked us to our core. We stood in the kitchen thinking if we should tell our grandmother. I felt bad that they were homeless, but their son was a freaking perv, and we decided we would. After finishing some cupcakes, we made our way upstairs, and he stopped us. He started apologizing, saying he was drunk and was just begging for our forgiveness, and our stupid selves did forgive him. We agreed not to tell and just went into my room. After that, we hadn't heard from him, and we went to sleep. I had woke up to use the bathroom, and it was pretty late. I wasn't sure what time it was, but the house was pitch black. The bathroom was right across from my room, so I rushed in. When I sat in the toilet, half asleep, I heard another room door open. I could hear someone's footsteps. They weren't far, so I could tell that they were in my room. I heard whispering, and then someone stomped off, and I heard the front door slam. Weird. By then, I was done. When I left the bathroom, my room light was on, and Kay was sitting up looking really uncomfortable. I asked her what was going on, and she told me B came in and asked if we could go to the store with him because he hated being lonely. She told me she said no and to get out, and he got upset and just left. I was creeped out by now. Soon as the sun came out, we told our parents. His parents, 36-year-old's parents. "Hey, your 36-year-old son was weird." Is Robin still in the chat? Because he made this really cool art of an individual who had a fucking arrow in their chest. And I swear to God, that was like one of the coolest things he's made as far as like how unbelievably realistic it looked. So I just wanted to give kudos for that. Schick is here. He says, "Hello, I haven't done any of my homework." Good, well, you're not going to get any dessert, mister. That's your dessert, is a burp. As soon as the sun came out, we told his parents. They told us their son has some severe mental issues and won't cause us any harm. They apologized for his behalf, and that was it. Here's our next encounter with this creep. It wasn't until about another week since I decided to stay at Kay's house for that time being. We were in my room playing Xbox when B poked his head into the room and asked, could he please talk to me outside the door? So I went. He proceeded to tell me how I was so pretty and he loved my hair. He kept trying to touch my curls as he spoke. What are you mixed with? He kept asking while still keeping this weird smile. I would tell him I'm only African American, and he would just stare at me, like I was lying. And this is where the conversation got worse. At first, he asked me about some of my interests and then just changed completely. He started saying inappropriate things. He said what he would do to me when he got the chance. Not if, but when. And he said what he had dreams about. Oh, yikes. Yeah, Robin, that shit was fucking cool. I don't know. Like, both you and Jensen, like, I've noticed your guys' art is getting, like, more and more powerful. It makes me jelly. I want to make cool shit. Carrie, you're incognito. Why are you incognito mode? He said what he would do to me when he got the chance. Not if, but when. And he said what he dreams about and all this disgusting mess. I was done with this and I tried to go into my room. As I turned, he grabbed my hair and groaned a bit. I turned back to him and his hand was in his pants. God, it was disgusting. When I went back in, I told Kay everything, even though she had been listening herself, and we told my grandma that night. She was beyond livid and told the family that they were fuck. Shit. Yeah, you've taught Jensen a lot of stuff, which I think is awesome. She was absolutely livid and told the family that they were leaving tomorrow morning, and that was it. When they left, I was happy. Extremely happy that I wasn't sneaking around my house anymore with a kitchen knife out of fear that he would pop up somewhere. Even though he was gone, I had found something in the room that stayed... Poop. Even though he was gone, I had found something in the room he stayed in it. Okay. Even though he was gone, I had found something in the... I'm making a lot of fuck-ups. Even though he was gone, I had found something in the room he stayed in that seriously grossed me out. It makes me shiver and gag just thinking about it. He had left a plastic bag behind, and I look inside and found pictures. So many pictures of me. My grandma kept hundreds of copies to give away to the family, and he had somehow stolen a lot of them. There were pictures when I was a baby, a child, and even more recent ones all in the bag. Most of them had white material on them. It looked dried, but the ones I had seen at the top were still somewhat wet, and my stomach turned as I figured out what the stuff was. Oh my god, she says fucking baby gravy, dude. I can't fucking read baby gravy. I mean, I've said baby gravy before, and like, but I just feel like that totally like kills the fucking creep factor. She says, I don't know. And I imagine she pulled that term from this stream, which makes it pretty hilarious. Okay. My stomach turned as I figured out what that white stuff was. But one picture scared me. It was a picture of me when I was about 6. I had a swimsuit on and was lying on my stomach in the water. The waves were hitting hard, and you could see that I had a massive wedgie and my bottom was showing a little bit. He had written something on the back of that one. It said copy number 32 and had his name under it. 32? This was the 32nd copy? But it was no more of that specific photo in the bag. This disgusting freak had the rest of the copies. I shuddered at the thought of him having all those pictures of me and what he could be doing with them. I had never heard from B or this family again. My grandma got the police involved, but apparently her friend had stopped working. Due to the embarrassment that was involved. I'm 19 now and still hate to think about it. I've submitted it here because my cousin brought it up a few days ago. I don't know where B or his family is, but I truly hope that he's in prison or anywhere that children or young teens aren't. Burn the whole house to the ground. Burn your own house down. Oh my god. Why does Brittany like being muted so much? She never gets to say anything. What's my favorite My Chemical Romance song? Which one are they again? Are they the ones like, when I was of gonna do and all the people and do my little dance? He said, son, when you're older, you'll go to college and dye your hair blue as the sky is. I don't know. Is that it? Yeah. Athena says I'm about to hit the bong because I really need to Z, but I'm so lightweight now I'll probably just be paranoid. The unfortunate life of a stooner. It might be worth the risk, though. Joel, can we do a duet? Oh my god, you're so good. We can, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to duet. Let's duet. Did you ever watch, what the fuck? Dewey Cox. Walk Hard. Let's duet. Such a fucking good movie, dude. If you've never seen Dewey Cox, please watch that movie. It's one of the funniest movies ever. You have 8 homeworks to do. Oh my god, that's a lot of homework units. New channel name, Let's Duet. This happened on Halloween of 2019. My friends and I were feeling the spooky vibes of the month and wanted to do something fun and exciting to satisfy our thirst. Being the dumb college students that we were, we decided on exploring somewhere allegedly haunted in the hopes of seeing some genuine paranormal activity. Since we're from Illinois, the popular destination of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery immediately came to mind, and it was settled upon. Once the sun had set and night had fallen, we were to make our move, sneaking into the cemetery after it had closed to get the full experience without having to worry about any other visitors. I must admit, I always wanted to do something like this before, but I was genuinely afraid of what might be waiting for us in that cemetery so late at night. Stories always circulated around the various apparitions people had encountered there. Apparitions, yeah. Yes. Let me let my cat out real quick. I think he actually does want out. App partitions. Hey, Hawkman. Oh, you going to bed? Night, dude. Be safe out there. You've been asleep since 3 p.m. Oh, shit. Yeah, your sleep schedule's in the pooper. In the pooper scooper. You're playing Pokemon? Hell yeah, brother. Which Pokemon? Is Sword and Shield that good? Like, is it actually that good? Or is it, like, compared to the old ones? Be honest with me, be honest with me. Also, I really wish that they would... I understand Game Freak has been the team behind Pokemon for so long, but I'm pretty ready for somebody else to get their hand on Pokemon and see what they can do. Oh, Hannah's going to bed. Night, Hannah. Guten Abend. Stories always circulated around the various apparitions people had encountered before, the different sounds that chilled them to the bone, and so on. Anyway, all of this was festering inside of me well before we actually started driving over to the cemetery sometime in the evening. It was a pleasantly long drive, but I wasn't really in the mood to think about anything else except for the potential horrors that roam the cemetery for all eternity, or so they say. Couple in the fact that we were going to be trespassing in order to get through in the first place, and I was a nervous wreck. My friends were apparently doing a much better job at keeping their fears in check, though. For the sake of the story, I'll call them Logan, Paul, and Eddie. Logan, Paul, and Eddie. Oh, for the sake of the story, I'll call them Logan, Paul, PewDiePie. You can do infinite combos in Killer Instinct 1 and 2. Nice. Those were pretty cool games. I remember one time we were supposed to say, like, what our favorite shit was, or, like, you know, in second grade, and I was like, my favorite game is Killer Instinct. And the teacher got mad. She's like, you can't say the word killer. We won't be having the word killer included in this. And at the time, you know, it's like when you're a little kid, like, everything makes you want to cry. You don't even know what you did, and you don't even know why what they said was so stupid. You just like, the tone of their voice has driven me to madness. Pokemon Sword and Shield weren't very good to me, honestly. I felt like as if though there was, like, not a lot of freedom in that game, but maybe I don't know. It seemed very curated, like, I don't know, maybe I'm full of shit. Am I going live tomorrow? No, I usually go live Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, which are the nights before videos, which are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. New videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yeah, so nights before that. Time on Brittany, please and thank you. You want me to do it? I don't want to do it. I'm bored. I'm bored. I don't know why I said I'm bored. I'm busy. For the sake of the story, I'll call them Logan, Paul, and Eddie. The entire car ride there, they were laughing and joking around, not worried about what we would be getting into or what we might see. Looking back at the whole situation, I should have known that their optimism was a bad sign. No way would we have been able to explore this place without them being the slightest bit nervous. But what's done is done. A little past 7, once night had. You do it, Lila. You're in charge of cyberbullying Brittany. Which is what you guys are doing to our poor beloved girl. A little past 7, once night had finally fallen for real and darkness went on in every direction for as far as the eye could see, we arrived. Parking in the main parking lot was out of the question, because we did some looking into it and found that in previous years, local law enforcement liked to wait there and catch any would-be explorers before they could even get inside. So we had a backup plan. Since the actual cemetery was located in the center of a dense forest on all sides, essentially forming a square where all the roads would go around it, we were to park at some restaurant that was open super late and had a huge parking lot, all the way in the back, furthest away from the restaurant itself and closest to the road. This was in the exact opposite direction from the front entrance of the cemetery, so we figured this was our best chance of getting in while avoiding any cops in our way. From there, we'd cross the street on foot and have a bit of a walk before arriving at a somewhat hidden path leading into the forest. Taking this back path would take a bit more to get to the actual cemetery itself, since there were trees particularly thick and dense, but it was well worth it when considering the alternative. After everything was said and done, we found ourselves beginning our trek onto the path, unsure of how far we'd actually have to go before we find what we were looking for. It was a windy night. Windy night. The night was so windy. It was a windy night, and even though it wasn't especially cold or anything, I still remember my teeth chattering and my skin going cold. Aside from the occasional sounds of leaves being crunched under our shoes as we walked, there was absolute silence. My once cheerful and energetic friends were now, all of a sudden, quiet and subdued. Logan in particular had this odd expression on his face, it being illuminated by my phone's flashlight as we walked. It was some sort of cross between fear and pain, like every step he took was causing him physical harm. Before I could question him about it, we found ourselves at our destination. Here we were, in the heart of Bachelor's Grove, with graves all around us and a certain chill in the air. Everyone split up to cover more ground, promising to call the others over if they were to encounter something. I didn't want us going too far away from one another, but I also didn't want to seem like a complete baby, so I kept my mouth shut and began exploring. Most of the graves I looked at had withered away from time and the elements, so I couldn't really make out anything that was on the tombstones. The few dates that I could read went back to the late 1800s, and a sinking feeling in my stomach started once I realized these people had been dead and decaying in the ground for over 100 years. 100 years? The few dates that I could read went back to the late 1800s, and a sinking feeling in my stomach started once I realized these people had been dead and decaying in the ground for over 100 years. Feeling extremely uncomfortable with this realization, I began to back away from the graves and start to look for my friends to see if they had found anything supernatural, yet when all of a sudden, I heard it. Not just me either. All of us did. It was a low, almost unnoticeable if you weren't paying attention, but with the way our senses were heightened, there was no way we would miss it. It appeared to be some sort of chanting, and it sounded like it was coming a little bit north from our direction, further in a clearing. I couldn't make any of the words being spoken or if it was even in English, but there was something creepy about the tone, like it was religious and the chanting was some sort of prayer. The voice that was doing the chanting was deep and gravelly, belonging to some man that we couldn't see. The four of us shone our lights on each other to see our expressions, and at that moment, we knew what we were going to do. Despite every fiber in my being telling me not to go any further and see what the source of this chanting was, my curiosity got the better of me, and I couldn't resist. Eddie whispered to us to turn our lights off completely, while he dimmed his just enough to where it wouldn't attract too much attention, but we would still be able to see with it. The next few moments we spent creeping towards the noise, the more and more I started to lose it. My breathing was uncontrollable, and it felt like my heart was beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. I was so afraid of what we would found. I was so afraid of what we would find, and yet I still had to know. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, we had entered the clearing and were a mere few steps away from this chanting. Eddie shone his light in the direction ahead of us, and for just a brief moment, we saw a cloaked figure bent over something in the grass, still chanting in that unrecognizable language. The thing in the grass looked like some sort of circle with a mark in the center, and I swear to God, I wish I could tell you I'm lying about this, but when I realized what the symbol was, I felt like throwing up. There was no mistake. It was a pentagram, made of some strange material. For the moment that Eddie had illuminated the sight in front of us, I had been able to get a glimpse of the pentagram's material being bright red, and I should have to say... shit. Eric, with the 5, says, invest in 1 Ethereum before it's too late. I actually do have Ethereum, which is kind of funny you bring that up. Oh, wait. Dude, even the hey... oh, shit, I removed the hey listen thing completely. So does it even... does the notification come up, like, on the screen? Did I fuck that up so bad? Wait, how do I... wait. Let's see. Where the hell? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it afterwards. But thank you, Eric. Yeah, I do have Ethereum back whenever Bitcoin was starting to pop off. I got into that, Litecoin and Bitcoin, but really that's about it. But thank you, Eric. Oh my god. Carrie with 49 maple syrup Canadian doll hairs says, hey, listen. Lol, thank you. Holy shit. I really need to get these sounds up and running, guys, because I might even, like, as the stream comes to an end, I might even chill here and, like, test it out or something, because it's just fucking strange why it's not working or why it stopped working. And then as I'm, like, trying to figure out, I removed it from the mixer, but then I think I just, like, removed everything from the mixer, which kind of blows wieners, because I don't know how to get it back right now, at least on the fly like this. I wish it was just, like, really simple. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate that. And I would twerk, but the music didn't go. For the moment that Eddie had illuminated the sight in front of us, I had been able to get a glimpse of the pentagram's material being bright red, and I shouldn't have to say any more about that. Once the light from Eddie's phone hit the back of the man's head, he immediately stopped chanting and stood up, still facing the direction of the pentagram. I can only describe the next few minutes as truly unadulterated terror. Before we knew it, he screamed a blood-curdling scream that rattled us to the core and turned around, beginning to sprint towards us. Everything happened so fast, I couldn't even make out the man's facial expressions except for... oops. Eric with the 5 says, nice, man, thanks for your comment. Well, thank you, Eric. Thank you. Do you have a... I mean, you don't have to donate to say this, but I was just curious if you have a anticipation that Ether is going to pop off here soon. I didn't jump on the Dogecoin train, unfortunately. T-Bud, I am live. Welcome. Everything happened so fast. I couldn't even make the fuck. Everything happened so fast. I couldn't even make out the man's facial features except for deep, sunken eyes and an expression that radiated pure hatred. He really did want to bring us harm. And not wasting any time, we all fled the direction we came from and ran faster than I think any of us had ever ran in our entire lives. I couldn't even scream while running. I was too petrified to make any noise. Maybe it was a miracle, but we somehow managed to retrace our steps all the way through the path we took to enter the cemetery and forest, and eventually came out the main road, which was devoid of any traffic for the time being. Afraid of what I would see if I looked back, I made a beeline for the car along with the others and hopped into the back seat, not wasting any time to lock the door and roll up the window. We peeled out of there in no time flat and didn't stop driving 20 over the speed limit until we were at least 10 minutes away. Honestly, I have no idea how far or how long that man chased us, but I do know this for sure. We weren't supposed to be there that night, and we must have been interrupting something important of his. I'll never know what it was, and honestly, I don't hope to ever find out. We never did talk about this experience again after that night, and we never went on another trip to somewhere abandoned or haunted ever again, either. I think that fright we felt is enough to satisfy us for the rest of our lives, and I'm thankful beyond words that we all managed to get out. Shit. I think that fright we felt is enough to satisfy us for the rest of our lives, and I'm thankful beyond words that we all managed to get out together, alive. Dun dun dun! Do you think the pentagram was made with Kool-Aid? Maybe for some type of Kool-Aid gelatin material. Okay, so we got about 4 stories left here. Thank you guys again for being here. Yes, I'm sure one of the mods can give you the old link to the Discord. It was made with Updog? What's Updog? Never heard of it. Do you think the music needs to be louder at all? Like the background music? Or do you think it's at like a good volume? Oops. I don't think I have any desktop, like... Yeah, there's a few things I need to change here. I gotta get this figured out. There's no way that OBS is like allowing shit to just like roll without any sort of fucking... You know. Gotta get that figured out. Gabriella, hello, hello. What music? Oh, you haven't heard any of it, pretty much? Well, there's like background, like creepy music playing. I don't know if you guys can even hear it, but it's a good volume. Alright. Cool, cool. Just really want to set the mood, you know? Just like really care about my people and want to make them feel spooked appropriately at appropriate volumes. So back in 2015, a colleague and I were on a business trip in Girona, Spain. Girona? That makes me wonder if you guys couldn't hear the donations. I wonder if I have I must have desktop sound turned off too, which means that any sort of random noises probably don't blow your ears out too bad. Blur your ears out. He's gonna blur your ears out. Girona. Oh, okay. Catalan? Wait, Spanish is probably... Girona. Alright. I'm gonna have to say it with a Girona. I'm gonna have to spit it out. Girona. He got sick. He got the Girona. So back in 2015, a colleague and I were on a business trip in Girona, Spain. We were going to be there for a couple of nights, so on the first night we decided to go for a walk. It was pretty late by now, and maybe at around 11 p.m., and all the bars and nightclubs on the strip were full. To really picture this, I need to tell you that the hotel we were staying at was not on the strip itself, but you had to go through a narrow alley to get there. Not your stereotypical dark alley. This alley was pretty well lit with liquor stores and the like on either side. Anyway, me and my colleague decided to walk back to our hotel after a period of time observing the sights and sounds of Girona at night. But we had a problem. No matter how much we tried, we could not remember where that exact alley back to the hotel was, so we kind of started freaking out. By now, we are at the end of the strip, and it seemed kind of sketchy to say the least. A bunch of male teenagers approach us, with one carrying an empty body. Lila, why are you disappointed in me? Are you going to beat me? How do you submit stories? Go to reddit.com/r/letsreadofficial. Joel is a Mr. Struggle. Mr. Struggle, PhD. A bunch of male teenagers approached us, with one carrying an empty bottle of vodka asking for information in broken English. We just ignore them and move on. As we keep walking, we notice another well-lit alley, but not the one we needed. I notice a really nice-looking classic-style car parked on the side, as a man is just getting out of it. His windows were really tinted. I noticed a really nice-looking classic-style car parked on the side, as a man is just getting out of it. His windows were really tinted too, so we couldn't see in. We decided to approach him, praying that he can speak good English, and ask for directions. He does speak English, but right away I can tell something's off. I tell him the name of our hotel, but as soon as I speak, he stops me. Hearing my Wait, I missed Tasha's donation? Really? Where? Tasha... Where is it? I can't find it. Where was Tasha's donation? Sorry. I gotta be honest, I have this up here and I don't see Tasha's donation at all. Tasha, what did you... I'm so sorry. I literally do not see it pop up on my notifications at all. Mediocre bit. Venus Flytrap, Don K, Ant... Wait, did it stop notifying? What the fuck? Where is it? Oh, there it is. What the fuck? It stopped telling me about my notifications too on my... Dude, what the... OBS is bullshit. What the fuck is going on? Tasha with the 5 says, please time our Brittany or Lila threatened to leave forever. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so weird, dude. It's not showing up in the fucking mini feed. That is so odd. What the fuck's going on with, And Tasha with 10 says, guess I'll have to do it again. Segment timeout Brittany for ignoring me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Where is Brittany? Brittany, you're getting timed out forever. Make it easy for everyone. Forever. 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 Dude, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with OBS, dude. It's like fucked. I don't get it, man. I do not get it. I'm sorry, guys. Well, thank you, Tasha. And rest in peace, Brittany. Yeah, I don't know. His windows were really tinted too, so we couldn't see in. We decided to approach him, praying that he can speak good English and ask for directions. He does speak English, but right away I can tell something's off. I tell him the name of our hotel, but as soon as I speak, he stops. Hearing my American accent, he loudly exclaims, "Are you Kevin?" By now, I'm really shocked at what he just said. He goes on, "Kevin, you United States? Motorbike driver? Motorbike?" I explain that we're just Americans here on business, but this makes no difference. He seems to be holding himself up in his car, seeming either high on something or just very intoxicated. He then says, "Kevin, yes, Kevin, very good. Rich motorbike driver." We felt his demeanor change right then. I again explained that I'm not Kevin, nor do I know him, as my colleague and I prepare to walk away. This frustrates the man as he begins saying something to us in Spanish in a threatening manner, and we just got out of there as fast as we could, hoping that he wouldn't follow us. Eventually we did get back to our hotel, but that was the end of our late night walks on the strip in Girona. Gosh, Joel, you're pretty. I am the prettiest narrator in the game. Squawk? Kevin, get off that motorbike, dude. You just use the OBS streamer stuff. I use, Streamlabs OBS, which is, I guess, different than the normal OBS. Joel, am I delayed? Yeah, Carrie, usually your stuff is pretty delayed, but tonight it didn't seem like it was, like, too wildly delayed. I don't know. I really don't have a gauge on how delayed you are tonight, though. But I do notice that sometimes the messages are, like, very, very late in comparison to what I said in real time. Sorry about that. Sorry to ask this again, but what's a timeout if you don't mind me? Well, a timeout is just like if somebody in chat is like spamming something or just being generally rude, you can like put them in timeout so they can't say anything for a while. But Brittany seems to be a masochist and enjoys putting herself in timeout. You have a basic understanding of OBS. That's alright. I mean, I'll figure it out afterwards. I just can't seem to do it right now. Officer Doofus, you buffoon, please have mercy on me. Timeout's like getting spankied. Alright, we got 3 more stories, y'all. Do you know if you've been timed out? Yeah, she's in horny jail. If you've been timed out, you probably won't realize it, but at least I don't think so. I don't know if the mods can time each other out. Maybe Brittany can tell us after she gets back. I was in the 7th grade going from my school in the downtown area of my city to my house. The buses usually are composed of a certain constant demographic, the teenagers coming home from school, the working class adults, and sadly single mothers with their children trying to save a buck using by using the bus. In addition to this demographic, there are the 2 types of disturbances: drug addicts or alcoholics that are loud and disruptive, usually begging for $1, and the middle-aged man or predator preying on middle schoolers or young women, both of which I have had my own encounters with, but today's story is not my own experience. I did have a front row seat of this crazy encounter, though. Now that we have the exposition, onto the story. I find a seat near the end of the bus by myself because of the way the buses work. There is 1 row of each side of the bus, with each seat has 2 What the fuck? It's like a tongue twister. I find a seat near the end of the bus by myself. Because of the way the buses work, There is one row on each side of the bus, with each seat has 2 sitting spaces. I'm sorry if that'll make... God damn it, there's so much, like, unnecessary words. Blah. There's one row on each side of the bus, with each seat has 2 sitting spaces. But there's also a twisty area in the middle of the bus. 2 seats are directly across from each other in this area. On the opposite side of me is a working-class man, some teenagers behind me, and in front of me are the main characters of this story, a dingy, unshaven man and 3 teenage girls. The man being directly in front of me and the girls in the twisty seats in front of the man. Being that there are only 2 per seat, one of these girls decides to sit in her one of the other... Being that there's only 2 per seat, one of the girls decides to sit on one of her friend's laps to stay close to and not have a sit beside a stranger. Upon seeing this, the man begins to sort of creepily laugh to himself before obnoxiously adjusting the way he's sitting in a suggestive manner, thighs and staring the girl down. As the ride begins and the girl notices him, he starts to pat his thigh as if to suggest she sit down there, then leading to verbalize these actions, saying things like, "Come here, girl. Some seat here, some sit here, some sit here. Come here, girl. Come sit here instead. You belong right here." Everyone is sort of Everyone in sight of this disgusting behavior catches on, and they're all watching him. The girl simply scowls at the man and turns away, her friends throwing light insults at him. He attempts in vain. He turns to the working-class man who's watching what's going on. He then says something along the lines of, "Why is she sitting there? She needs to be on my lap instead." Further commenting on this high schooler's body and doing the buddy-buddy arm nudge with him as if the two were pals. Just a note, she is visibly a high schooler. Our district requires standard school attire, so she had khaki shorts and button-up short-sleeve shirt with a backpack, so there's no way this man could have known that she was... couldn't have known. So there's no way that this man couldn't have known that she was underage, but I digress. Anyways, hearing these outrageous statements from the man, the working-class man replies with something like, "Hey, don't you ever associate with me whatever you think this is. This is a child you're talking about. I come from Detroit, and we put people like you in the dirt." The man, not at all deterred, scoffs and does this hand-flinging motion as if to blow him off. The working-class man stops his... fuck. The working-class man's stop is coming up, and as he stands, he tells the girl that he apologizes for what she's going through and leaves. The girl tells him on his way out, "Thank you, but I'll be able to handle it. Just gotta wait." The gross man turns back to her and says, "Handle what? Me?" and laughs to himself. I was appalled at his gross statements, but even angrier than me were the adults and male thugs who started standing in the area where the situation was, all witnesses to this atrocity. I remember hearing the gang members all start to get riled up behind me, in defense of the girl. Now this guy starts to get a bit scared. He's now stopped talking upon seeing how many people are against him. The girl again goes on to assure the crowd that she's got everything under control and things calm down a bit. That is, until he pulls the string to notify the driver that he wants to leave at the next stop. In a split second, everyone's eyeing back to... Carrie with the 5 Canadians says, "Damn you, Canada! Canada!" Yeah, I don't quite know why there's a delay, but if that's what the reference is to, I'm sorry. But thank you for the 5. In a split second, everyone's eyes were back on him. The thugs begin standing up again, lingering near the doors just in case he plans to run from whatever the girl has in store for him. Wait, what would the girl have in store for him? I'm confused. You can order a pizza with no sauce. That would be interesting. Thugs begin standing up again, lingering near the doors just in case he plans to run from whatever the girl has in store. What would the... Can I sing a lullaby? No. Jesus Christ. The thugs begins lingering near the doors just in case he plans to run for whatever the girls have in store for him. I don't understand. What would the girl have in store for him? Whatever. The thugs begin standing up again, lingering near the doors just in case he plans to run. The bus begins to arrive to the stop, and as the man stands up, so does the girl. He attempts to walk past her, but upon approaching her, she pushes him back. The girl pushes him back down? What the fuck's going on? It's a reversal. He attempts to walk past her, but upon approaching her, she pushes him back. Not to get him off his feet, but to get him back from the God damn it. He attempts to walk past her, but upon approaching her, she pushes him back. Not to get him off his feet, but to get him back from the forming group of people. She does this because as he stumbles backward, like Django, she swings her belt off her waist and yells, "You like to prey on little girls? You like flirting with little girls as a grown man?" And starts beating the brakes off this guy with it. And yes, she was using the metal side. My ears filled with the clinking of metal on his body and head, the slapping of the leather on the skin, and the moans and cries of this fully grown man who is now on the ground in tears attempting to escape from his well-deserved beating. The bus ends up completely stopping, the driver running back to the separate... Yeah, I did not expect this girl to fucking put a beating on this guy, because the way that, all these stories always make it out to be is like, they get out of there, and I was expecting maybe the gang people to like, halt him or something like that. But to see this girl actually like whip off her belt and start kicking his ass, that's pretty fucking funny and pretty awesome. Too bad, Casey. You're gonna deal with it. The bus ends up completely stopping, the driver running back to separate the two. The girl is still beating the man with all her might as the bus driver rushes over to pick her up and pull her away from the man. The man ends up crawling hands and knees off of the bus, where he then laid on the concrete moaning and crying in pain. Everyone was escorted off the bus, and the police were soon called to get the man medical attention. The police ended up detaining the girl, and I couldn't find any information about her charges, but I hope... God damn it. The police ended up detaining the girl, and I couldn't find any information about her charges, but I hope wherever she is... I keep saying like, how hope... The police ended up detaining the girl, and I couldn't find any information about her charges, but I hope wherever she is, she's having a good day. As for the man, all I can say is just don't be a creep, and bad things won't happen to you. I admire girls that... I admire that girl's bravery, and the passengers that bonded together for the safety of the girl were the best demonstration of what a community should be that I'd ever seen. Wait, what the fuck? I admire that girl's bravery, and the passengers that bonded together for the safety of that girl were the best demonstration of what a... I don't know why I'm like... fucking up so much. I admire that girl's bravery and passengers... Dude, something's off with my brain right now. I can't fucking keep up with this shit. I admire that girl's bravery, and the passengers that bonded together for the safety of that girl were the best demonstration one of... Oh, god damn it. Why the fuck can I read this fucking last sentence? I admire that girl's bravery, and the passengers that bonded together for the safety of the girl were the best demonstration of what a community should be that I'd ever seen. Jesus Christ, why was that so fucking hard? Ulterior motif, says Meow Pradeep. Everyone say puppy prayers. My ghost finally completed Worm Texas and gets snipped tomorrow. Oh, your dog's getting snipped? Let's brain fart. Let's pretend we can read. It's a tough process. It's nice to hear me cuss. Fucking fart. Am I on crack? Not crack, just like normal meth. I'm doing a butt cheek reveal where the one butt cheek's covered in hair and the other one's not. Or it's like sort of like shaven, sort of like in a yin yang. Like where the one cheek is clear but except for like a circular patch of hair and the other one's covered in hair except for like an area missing the circle. It should be pretty transcendental, so prepare your butts for that. Ever done a face reveal? Just the yin yang butt reveal. Okay, these next ones are ghost stories. I've always been bothered by this experience and to this day still have dreams about it. I'm now 38 years old. Drink water, everyone. Drink water. Megan Becker with the 10 says, Joel, have you ever had a personal experience with the paranormal? By the way, looking forward to the butt cheek reveal. Thank you. Just like sleep paralysis stuff, you know. Only really happened when I was like really stressed out during college, so I wasn't even sure like, you know, if it was correlated or, you know what I mean. I don't know. It's hard to say. But nothing too wild, to be honest with you. But thank you for the 10. And Alexandria House with the 5 says, do you allow ideas for your podcasts and videos to be thrown at you? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Throw them my way, baby. Never shave your own balls. You gotta let somebody else do it, ulterior? Or you got like a professional in-house ball shearer? Did I take a Xanax? No, I don't take Xanax. That Xanny. Avoid that. Yeah, sorry, Carrie. I don't know why there's such a... I don't know if you hit, like, refresh on it, if it would, like, bring you to the live thing or what, but it's hard to say why it's, like, so delayed. Who designed the animation and art in the video? Yeah, the background there, that's Robin Mikalsen. You'll see him popping in from time to time, but I got him linked down below if you want to check out more of his stuff on Instagram, YouTube. Naomi Hopkins with a 5. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. A real friend helps trim. This is true. You hope you don't have sleep paralyses. You never know. I don't quite know if there's much, you know, I'm sure other people would know if you looked into it, like different studies, because some people say it's like correlated to stress. Some people say it's paranormal, you know what I mean? I don't fucking know. But I feel like there's got to be different things that precipitate it if it is all just biological. It would be weird. But it's strange that so many people have like consistent experiences with some sort of like shadow beings or, you know, or perhaps the consistency is actually what makes it more demonstratable. I don't know, more scientifically explainable. Your girlfriend does your manscaping, that's good. Probably for her own benefit. Suggest doing another private investigator story. Sure, yeah. Can look into that. Or anybody here a private investigator? It's my favorite theme video I've done so far. I guess the Skinwalkers. The 4 Skinwalkers. I've always been bothered by this experience, and to this day, still have dreams about it. I'm now 38 years old, but this story begins when I was 21. Back in 2003, I was living with 2 roommates in an apartment in Minnesota. They were friends of mine from high school. Our lives were usually pretty boring, just 3 guys hanging around playing video games, that kind of thing. One day I come home after work, a long shift at the grocery store I was employed by, and my roommates had a Ouija board set up just on the living room floor with their respective girlfriends. They excitedly informed me that they had contacted a spirit. They were asking it all sorts of dumb questions like, what kind of car do I drive, and does my boyfriend love me? Just really mundane stuff. A non-believer, I jokingly remarked that the spirit was probably angry with their questions, and the board said yes. It felt as if my friends were just messing with me, so I decided to run a little test. I sat down with the group and asked its name. I sat down with the group and asked its name. The spirit said its name was Mike. I asked it to prove that it was a real spirit and not my friends just dinking around by telling me something only I would know. The spirit Mike responded by spelling out S-U-E, or Sue, which is a sister I had not and still have not met and never told my friends about. While this was indeed odd, I still wasn't convinced. I next asked the spirit who I would marry. The board spelled out Kelly Anderson. I didn't know anyone by the name, so I laughed it off and said I didn't believe Mike was real. One of my roommates then mentioned that he read somewhere that if a spirit counts backwards from 10 to 0, they can escape the board. The plan shat itself. The planchette began to spell out 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, which freaked out the girls, and they threw the planchette across the room and put away the board. I didn't think anything of it and went to bed. A month later, I was trying to fall asleep one night, but couldn't because I felt like something was watching me. I swore I saw a shadow creep along the wall behind my TV that was humanoid in shape, but I just wrote it off as a trick of the mind because I was tired. I finally managed to doze off a bit, and woke up to a feeling of being dragged off the edge of my bed. When I regained my sense, I was right on the edge of my bed about to fall onto the floor. Still in denial, I thought maybe I just slept funny. Fast forward to 2007. I'm still working at the same grocery store, and I meet a woman named Kelly who had recently gotten a job there. I didn't think anything of it because her surname was not Anderson. I got to know this woman, and we started dating a few months later. In 2009, we got engaged. One night I was sitting with her in the living room of our apartment, and I was thinking about the Ouija board incident from 6 years earlier. I told her the story of Mike and how the spirit informed me I was going to marry a Kelly Anderson, but I scoffed because her last name was different. She got really quiet and just stared at me. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me that at one time she was thinking of asking her stepfather, who I had not yet met at that time, to adopt her. If she had done this, her last name would have been Anderson. It freaked me out a bit. In 2010, we got married and moved into a small house in Wisconsin. Strange things started happening around our new home immediately. I would hear whispers in the night as I tried to sleep. Kelly never heard anything. Sometimes I would wake up and see the shadows of little creatures moving about outside our bedroom door. Eventually, I started to wake up to a feeling of something sitting on my chest. I would be unable to move, and I would see this horrible being staring down at me as it pinned me. It was wispy and malevolent looking Look like... Fuck. Eric with the 5 says, sleep paralysis, I think, is the best time to try and protect your spirit. What do you mean? Protect it? Like, wouldn't you want to protect it all the time? Kate Planchette. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Sorry, I was scrolling through chat there. Do more stalker stories. I discovered you listening to a stalker vid. Nice. I probably shall. Got a whole playlist of I think 12 to 15 different stalker videos you could check out. Of course, pretty much all of these involve some degree of stalkering. It was wispy and malevolent looking. I would eventually regain my ability to move again and fight it off, and it would disappear. I know this sounds like sleep paralysis, but under the circumstances, I don't believe it was actually that simple. Not to mention, this continued to happen all the way to 2012, when my son was born. For 2 years, I fought off this entity that would come multiple times a week to try and... what? Possess me? Kill me? I have no idea. I was constantly tired and worn out. Throw a newborn into the equation and I was exhausted. The attacks continued until my son turned 3 months old. Then one night I heard a strange voice say something in an unfamiliar language on my baby monitor. I ran into my son's room, but no one was there. Not a thing. After that night, the attacks on me continued, but became more sparse. Eventually, it would maybe happen a couple of times a month. Unfortunately, in 2014, things did not work out with Kelly, and we got a divorce. She moved back to Minnesota, and I started to see a new woman a few months after our divorce was finalized. The second Kelly moved out, the attacks stopped completely. I got remarried in 2016 to my second wife. I have been attack-free for 6 years now, but I still think about Mike and the Ouija board. Was this a spirit that was always attached to my ex? Did it attach to me because of the Ouija board and now has attached itself to my son? I ask him if he's ever experienced anything unexplained, but I never really get a direct answer. And I fear I'll never have that answer. Scary stonk stories. Number 1, I invested in GameStop today. Robinhood sold all my shares and gave the hedgies a ton of money. Alright. Alrighty, right. Oh, that makes me wonder. I guess when I was playing that music earlier, last stream too, you guys probably didn't hear it, which was the song that I was singing. I was listening to it to get a vibe, but I'm just always under the interpretation that you guys heard it, or hear it, so yeah, I gotta get this shit figured out. Get things back on track. Show you one ghost that tells you something. It's impossible. I don't think I understand that statement. Anyone watched Erased, the saddest anime of all time? I have never heard of it. What's it about? Sharon, how late are you? Well, this is actually the last story. I'm so sorry. But you're just in time for that. I would say I am a person who didn't believe in the paranormal, but what has happened to me and my family has completely changed my mind. I'm a 13-year-old boy while writing. I should also mention the area I live in is about 500 years ago used as a graveyard, which could be the reason for some of the experiences that had happened to me and my family while living in this house anyway. Me and my family moved to Walsall, a small town, and is that how you say it? Walsall? Walsall. Walsall. I'm kind of worried because it's written by a 13-year-old, which might be kind of like all over the place. Sometimes they do kind of have not so good grammar, but sometimes it's surprisingly good. You're very upset you get the Batman Beyond DVD and 3 of the episodes won't even play. Oh, that's weird. I remember I actually purchased the Batman Beyond complete collection from Amazon a while ago, but I gave it to my, buddy's younger daughter for her birthday. She was like 4. I'm like, fuck it, Batman Beyond. Bitches love Batman Beyond. And I think she did. She loved it. Me and my family moved to Walsall, a small town in England, in September of 2013. Almost instantly, me and my family started witnessing some paranormal activities, such as I would hear my mom's voice calling me when she was at work, and to describe the voice, it sounded like a whisper, but the voice seemed so far away. Me, being 6 at the time, immediately ran to my dad, explained the situation, but he just... Alright, I can't read this. I'm sorry, bro. Skip the story. I gotta have to find something else. I just, it's all, the grammar and, the writing, it all, sort of, blends together, and I just can't, I don't know. And I'm not really feeling like the content of it is very strong anyways. Batman deadlifts, hopefully. I feel like they never show Batman working out. What's Batman's power? He's a billionaire. Yeah, let me find another story to end this, because it's just fucking annoying, mate, sometimes. Batman Beyond. Bitches love Batman Beyond. Okay. So I have to find how to access. There we go. Pin messages, and then let us take a gander here, and maybe you guys could tell me which one sounds interesting. Well, I don't fucking know, honestly. Unusual guy tried to take me and my little sister out of a shop. Attempted home intruder whodunit. That sounds kind of cool. Home intruder. Nah. Exorcist spider walk. Damn girl, you're fine. I murdered in self-defense. Yikes. Crazy Tinder. 3 a.m. visitor in the morgue. A creepy coworker. Can I buy your breast milk? Jesus Christ. Where's your mom? I don't know. The Creepy Encounters ones are just, from the Creepy Encounters subreddit, are kind of, underwhelming. Someone tried to kidnap my brother at the beach. Pizza Hut, a police pursuit, and plaster cast. Maybe that one. Yeah, I like that one. Let's try it. Okay. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Down set. Pizza Hut. Alright, bong. Highlighted, done with that one. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Quit Discord. Insert beard scratchies. Queef horror story. Too many queefs. No one understands creepy anymore. No one understands it quite like me. I heard a creak at night. It was totally a ghost, and I used a bunch of salt to get rid of it. My first wife was a pizza slut. When I was 13, I broke my leg in a nasty bicycle accident. I ended up in a plaster cast from my hip to my ankle for 8 weeks. As it was coming up on Christmas, my younger brother wanted to go to the theater to see the Christmas show. I was 13, moody, and accompanied by a bright pink cast everywhere I went. I was not feeling it. My dad, never one for going to the theater, offered to take me to Pizza Hut instead. It was a rare opportunity to spend time with my dad, who was often working very long hours. He worked as a police officer, which at the time I didn't really take any interest in what he did. We had a great evening at Pizza Hut, and we got back in the car to go home with full bellies and some leftover pizza. I remember babbling away at my dad as I had been the whole night. Enthralled, I had my dad's undivided attention. After a while, I noticed he wasn't really responding anymore. We were fairly near home, but still on a main road before we turned off towards our housing estate. At first, I thought he just lost interest, but I glanced over and noticed he was permanently looking in the rearview mirror. I asked him what was up, and he said, "The car behind us has been following us all the way from Pizza Hut." I glanced behind and commented that we were still on main roads. I couldn't see that this was an unusual route for this guy to take. He said I need to see whether he is. I don't want to lead this guy to our house. I rolled my eyes. My dad was always paranoid about stuff like that. We couldn't even tell friends we were going on holiday because he was convinced the house would be broken into while we were away. We were coming up to a residential area before ours that Pizza Hut. What's my favorite kind of pizza? Stuffed crust. You saw someone post on Reddit with the title "True Crime Caught on Camera" or something. Cool. We were coming up to a residential area before ours that I knew from doing a newspaper. We were coming up to a residential area before ours that I knew from doing a newspaper route. I suggested the street coming up on the left, as it looped around in a horseshoe shape through a housing estate and brings you back out on the same road we were on, just further up. Nobody would take this road to come out onto the main road again. My dad turned off, and so did the car. I will never forget that feeling, that sinking feeling as I watched the car sharply turn behind ours. The car placed its full beams on, and its full beams. A full-on beam. Can you get an awa awa? Awa awa? I saw somebody had tagged me on Twitter from a previous stream where I said awa awa. I'll stuff your crust. The car placed its high beams on, and I let out a gasp and looked to my dad. He'd gone into work mode. He had completely shut me out. He accelerated down the street, and as we came to the main road, I saw that there were many cars still on the main road. He pulled straight out onto the main road, meaning the car coming on the main road needed to brake sharply and held down their horn at us. I kept my eyes on the road, breathing deeply as my dad weaved in and out of lanes. A part of me was completely terrified, and a part of me was still convinced that this was not really happening, that he had exaggerated or mistaken this. He wasn't really following us. I dared to look in the side mirror and saw it was a different car behind us. I felt myself relax a little. We turned left at the coming roundabout, giving very little room to anyone, and a few moments of holding my breath, thinking we were going to hear the sound of metal on metal. The street we had turned on was slightly quieter than the roads previous. I slowly glanced into the side mirror. It was still a different car behind us. I sighed relief. Sorry, my fucking nose was really itchy there. It's like so weird, like when you have an itch and you're like trying to let it go, it just seems like it gets worse and worse and worse. Like you can never, like an itch is so strange. Like you can never just like let it go and it goes away on its own. You just like literally just have a perpetual itch forever. My go-to activity during COVID, I guess walking is nice. Going on a walk. I like to go lift weights, play video games, live stream for you guys. It's a fun thing. D-Shore with the 5 says, have a lovely night. Thank you, D-Shore. You too. Thank you. I slowly glanced into the side mirror. It was still a different car behind us. I sighed relief and thought this had really been my dad's imagination. Suddenly, the rearview mirror became completely illuminated again, and I awkwardly turned in my seat to see a car pull out sharply from behind the car behind us and pull in quickly behind ours again. I look at my dad again. He grabbed his phone from his pocket and told me to call someone in particular in his phone and put it on speaker. My hands are shaking. I could barely press the buttons. A cheerful voice answered, and before he could say anything else, my dad quickly summarized what had happened. There was a pause, and I could hear voices speaking in the background, radios beeping and answering through radios. My dad barked at me to keep naming the streets we were on to the guy on the phone as my dad randomly turned down streets, trying to keep to the main roads. I'm randomly calling names and trying to remember to say the direction we were heading. The car was so close behind us and completely blinding any view behind us. All I could think was, please don't hit us. If we crash, I can't run. What can I do? My leg had only just been plastered. I knew I stood no chance. I suddenly wondered if we were getting close enough to... The dad's got connections. Yeah, he's a police boy. Who knows how to play DD? I mean like D&D? Dungeons und Dragons. I played it a few times. I couldn't get into it, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't like get into my character because I just kept making fun of it, you know what I mean? Like I kept like being goofy, and there was a lot of girls in the group that did not appreciate my goofiness. Like they wanted to take it very seriously, and I just can't, you know what I mean? Like if we're sitting there pretending that we're fucking tree elves, I'm probably going to make a joke or two. Especially since my guy was like half rat, you know. Dungaroos and dildos, yes, that's D&D, I think. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts, okay. I definitely am better at playing Dunkin' Donuts than I am Dungeons and Dragons. It's like I do appreciate the idea of Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's one of those things like if you played it with your kids or like your family or something, that would be a really fun thing to do, you know what I mean? But I think I just got into it way too late, you know. A meme lord do as a meme lord does. This is true. I suddenly wondered if they were getting close enough to take a shot at us. This for me was unthinkable. It was in England. That is not the norm. Why would someone want to shoot us? We continued to weave down the streets in random turns as I was tossed around the front seat, clutching onto my mobile in my trembling hand. Bollocks. Oi, XD memes, what up, what up? We continued to weave down the streets in random turns as I was tossed around in the front seat, clutching onto the mobile in my trembling hands. The voice on the phone shouted, "Turn into the Tesco car park that's coming up on the left, and we have 3 response vehicles coming from the other direction." My dad sharply turned into the car park, skipping the red light. I shut my eyes, again waiting for the sound of metal on metal. As we swung into the near-empty car park, the car behind us is in close pursuit. Blue lights surrounded our car from what felt like all directions. The sounds of sirens were deafening. My dad got straight out of the car and ran behind the car. I screamed, still thinking someone could have had a gun, and tried to look over my shoulder to see when my door swung open and a police officer was crouching into the car to help me get out. My arms were completely jelly, and I could not even use the crutches to help me stand. Another police officer came, and between them they helped me as I hopped to the back of the police car. They were kind and tried to distract me as I was trying to see what was going on and where my dad was. I couldn't really see from my angle, and I also couldn't turn properly due to my leg. They did their best to reassure me, and one had clearly just been through the nearby McDonald's drive-thru, and they offered me his tea. I just sobbed, begging them to tell me what was going on. My dad, after some time, came over to the car and told them to take me home. He had checked, and my mom was back home with my brother. As the police car turned around in the car park back towards the entrance, we could see the police surrounding the vehicle, and 3 men in what looked to be their late 20s were handcuffed, leaning over the car, whilst a sniffer dog and 2 police officers were taking things out of the car, one of which was a baseball bat. When my dad got home later that night, I asked him what it was about. Who were those men, and why were they following us? He was very reluctant to tell me anything. He did admit it was because of him that they were following us. He explained that he was in a drugs team that dealt with, how I understand this as an adult, the interception of large shipments of drugs that were being transferred across the country, and sometimes people lost a lot of money when they were caught. I just stared at him. I had no idea what to say. He just shrugged and said, "Sometimes people get upset about that." Alright. The varsity football team at my high school got really into Dungeons and Dragons. That's cool. Does anyone like mukbangs? You know, I have never really watched them before, to be honest with you. It's just people eating a fuck ton of food, right? Mukbangs are awesome and disgusting at the same time, yes. Yes, they are. It's just a funny name, mukbang. It sounds like a fucking Pokemon. Alright, I'm ready the outro here. Joel, don't leave. Unfortunately. But once I leave, I'll be able to figure out how to get these notifications. Wait, I didn't miss any notifications. No, I don't think I did. I got D-Shore. Yeah, I think I got prior to that as well. I'm sorry, guys. Fucking didn't even get to hear my twerky music for all the people that paid for me to twerk. That would be cool though, a mukbang Pokemon, and he just like insatiably eats a fuck ton of food. Alright. Time to record the outro. You guys gotta think of something funny for me to say. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. And if you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit r/letsreadofficial, and give and receive feedback from the community, and maybe even hear your story featured on the next video. And join a live stream to catch an invite to my Discord. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations for just $1 a month on Patreon, and maybe even pick up some Let's Read merch on Spreadshirt. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all these stories in long compilation form and save huge on data, located anywhere you listen to podcasts. Links in the bio. Thanks so much, friends. This is a certified bruh moment. When the fish is stanky, you don't do the wanky. That's fair. That's good. Good advice. Pikachu Vor. Isn't that Snorlax? Yeah, maybe that's maybe you breed a muck with a Snorlax. You get a mukbang. You'll be waiting for the ass yin yang post in Discord. I gotta get it ready. I gotta get it perfect. Say, Joel, if you love Pokemon Vor. What is it? What is Pokemon Vor again? Where you're like where they're like pregnant or something? If you go to horny jail, you'll need horny bail. I actually just did a horny jail joke, or like outro, a while ago. Yin yang ass with your Yeezy ass haircut, with your yin yang ass haircut. I gotta walk a lot to hatch that egg. Breathes cutely. Bonk. Someone's gotta tell me something good here. Tell me what to say. Tell me what to say. Come on. Yeah, Kevin G, thanks for stopping by. Thank everybody stopping by. But before we go, I gotta say something fucking cool. Horny jail. Cats can be man's best friend too. That's true. This is true. A true friend helps you trim. Might have to go down that route. Word of the day. Saponification? Saponification. Remember, cheese can be stanky, but that doesn't mean you can't eat it. Leaked audio of me moaning. This is a certified... that would actually be funny. And remember, this is a certified hood classic. I'll probably say that because it's funny. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, this is a certified hood classic. Boom. Should do that. All statements are cool if you make it to be. And remember, game tonks, horny stonks. Oh, man. Twerk noises in honor of its silence. That'd be funny. Is a certified hood classic. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for an amazing stream. Sorry about the technical difficulties there, but I do really appreciate your guys' support and amazing kind words. Yeah, come join the Discord. Follow me. You know, if the Discord is good for notifications for new videos, it's also good for community. If you're trying to make some, all these beautiful people here, you can continue to be their friends there. Good times. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. They're scrolling across the screen here. Instagram. You follow my meme page at Horny Computer. All the good times there. The best memes you will ever see on the internet. And I'll get this up, edited on Patreon. Patreon's only $1 a month. Early access you get from that. Just no background music, just pure, beautiful edited audio. Gorgeous audio. The best audio. And it's pretty sick. Only $1 a month there. And this video will be edited and up today. Well, tomorrow for some of you, but today for me at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. New streams Sunday, Tuesday, Thursdays, usually. Can't always guarantee those, but either way, you can keep an eye out for them. And I appreciate y'all's being here. Love ya. Sleep well. Take care of yourself. Don't go crazy. We're gonna get through this. Okay. Love ya. Peace out. Adios. Bye-bye now.